Good afternoon. So I will now speak freely on things that are on my mind. Nothing groundbreaking, but I understand that some things should be reiterated if they are important enough. First of all, regarding science, if you are interested, this tower over there, the Graal is kind of a modification of the Grey Goo recipe, Black Goo recipe, which is supposedly, more fit for the Neros. It's a completely different thing, the Neros and the Black Goo, as expected. So we'll see later if it actually produces something. My guess is it actually will not produce because I think that a magnetic field is needed. That's the theory, and supposedly I can use magnetic apparatus to even if the neurons inside the electrolysis chamber are not subjected to changing magnetic field, because the same way that you use fire with a different level you see here, and this was actually worked. So, but I am having a problem. With although I put quite an effort the last 24 hours. As you see, there are two combinations here of magnetic permanent magnets and temporary magnets with AC. I now use AC for this, but I don't have a good way. I couldn't find a viable way to actually test what's actually happening. So I'm a little bit in the darkness right now. And also, it's a huge issue that I don't have slides, even not junk slides. I don't know what to do, and I really need slides in order to check. There are a ton of stuff that should be checked, and it's very interesting, and also to advance and to see how we will continue. And I just can't find anything that is remotely usable. And my mother will bring me a bona fide slide, but it will only be later this week. So I don't know how to continue without the slides. I have to use the microscope now. Bummer. I think that the three containers that are kept in the cold, in the manual freezer, I get it out now. I think it was a mistake to put too much alcohol in it. It was a mistake because too much alcohol is make the solution totally non-conductive. We've actually seen it yesterday. When the first shot at the black goo didn't produce anything because there was too much alcohol. So I needed to throw everything to toilets and do another mixture with almost no alcohol and other materials that are more conductive, especially my pee, which is very conductive. And then it worked. So I don't want to throw away the three containers that were kept in cold. But what I will do is try to evaporate alcohol by pouring it on these three dishes that I found in the thrift shop in the garbage, and I cleaned it. So we will. I really need some slides to see what's going on over there. And also, there is other also electromagnetic solutions that I want to check and by the way, I don't need a slide because I plan to use the Petri dish for the bowl. As you see here, it's waiting for me. I see all these things moving there, but maybe it's just bubbles. But then again, why are bubbles forming and resurfacing? So there is there are obviously living creatures big ones over there, but they don't like to go they like the bottom, the oily part. But that's a good it's a viable option to continue because I don't need a slide. I can use the Petri dish. It will be cumbersome but possible, and it will mostly the problem is that it's not it's not something that will allow me to continue in a meaningful way right now. It's more it will create a horror effect, which is important. I think that it will be of benefit, even if just a minor one, for my audience to actually watch some the robotic zoo of ton. You can see it with the naked eye. There are going to be ton of germs and microbes, synthetic microbes, and so It will be, I mean, perhaps it will, I mean, have some horror effect, which is greatly needed. I cannot continue right now because, I mean, too much with it because it's, I mean, this kind of like containers are I mean, they are useful for the direction of study of the living creatures, as I said, like the biological study of the synthetic life or the big synthetic, specifically the big synthetic life form in terrariums, which is something that I haven't done at all, and it's just a whole new science that I didn't have time to and I still don't have any time to allocate for it. But I mean, it's a whole new science. I mean, to see how they like live in the and how they grow in their like artificial environments, like the big organism, the worms that are certainly in there. Other than that, I mean, it's not going to be very helpful, but I mean, maybe it will like put some fear into your heart. So I don't know, move arms and legs, but you don't move no arms and no legs. I cannot continue any type of theater show, and I've said it many times. The theater that Israel is trying to force me to participate in all my life, but most certainly since 2019, when I stopped, like when I understood that it's theater and I did everything I can to stop it. It's, I mean, only once. I mean, I like after like a year and a half without a job, after I left my heritage because their horrible mistreatment. So it was a year and a half that I mean I was unemployed, and I after that I mean I thought I have to get a job, like I mean to have money. So I started working in hermetic, and it was a hell of experience. Like I mean it's you understand, it's kind of like abuse and humiliation without end. And it's after 6 months I found myself again without a job. But this time I understood that I mean any job that I get, I mean is buffered by the Shabak, and they will put me in jobs that I mean they will humiliate me and sexual harass me and like violence and whatever. Like, so since then I don't have a job, and the money is like eventually all my savings were gone. Were I mean like depleted, and I had to move, I believe temporarily, to my mother's apartment, but it was a hell there because I was tortured with electricity, and you know, I have these legal issues that and this arrest that is never ending. Some people say it's amazing that a person like you, that let's leave aside your profession, like the salary man title, but you can sell so much stuff and you can be very rich by selling the stuff. So how is it that you are still so poor? I mean, it's kind of like weird, but this actually this question is not correct. Like, I mean, it's, or I would just say, it's show a very like limited understanding of reality. Reality is very simple. I am a representative of foreign culture that is both a tremendous opportunity for the people of the earth and also tremendous risk. And this is something that you could have understand since I mean the first biological examination was carried on me. I don't need to speak at all, and I don't need like to do anything for the things that I do. You could have deduced that this creature is both a tremendous opportunity and tremendous risk. And it's still true. Only now, I mean, the opportunity is, I mean, is not viable for you. Only the eminent risk for the earth and for the humanity. Such creatures do not need to handle money. And it is stupid, like, to force them to participate in theater shows where they handle money, because they will never be allowed to actually operate in a free market. It's not going to happen. How I envision myself in the future, like when I'm rescued from this Nazi place, Nazi hell. Well, actually, I envision myself living with a woman, maybe one, maybe more, titans, of course, and not handling money. Of course, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be a parasite. You know that I keep myself busy all the time, even at, like, I mean, the poorest conditions. And of course that, I mean, I will create value. I do not say that I will not create value. I believe that even now, I mean, in this arrest, even though I do not create money, I do not contribute to the GDP, I think that in the last couple of months, I created value for, I mean, that is, I mean, amazing. And any person with a right mind can understand it. It's very simple. But handling money, even out of Israel will be a problem, because even in not in dictatorship, like Nazi dictatorships like Israel, people almost happens will not allow me to actually participate in free market. But in Israel, it's way worse than that, because they need me. It's part of it's like in 1984 that, I mean, the authoritarian governments does not like only want like to subjugate you and to torture you and eventually to kill you, but they want you to participate in this process. You need to be consulted and to be advised and to change your attitudes. And finally, as in the last sentence of 1984, so it was Jones that, I mean, finally understood. That's I mean, it's a paraphrase, but I mean, in the last phrase, so the protagonist, it's Jones or Smith. So finally Smith understood, and he loved the big brother. And it's implied that then he was executed, but not before he understood his error. It's like a religious thing. It's the same in Israel. You need to participate in the show, and I do not want to participate in any show at all. And starting like 2019, when I resisted this theater show, the pressure was only, I mean, got more and more immense, to the point that no one that like ever knew me, or no one knew that, I mean, wanted to, I mean, get into my life. Doesn't matter if it's like a colleague or a friend, like a potential female, like a partner, like sexual partner or romantic partner. Doesn't matter. Any kind of human being that, I mean, was either, I mean, I already knew or tried to enter my life, they all, I mean, pushed 100% of the time, pushed the agenda of a theater show that I should participate in, and it will be in their advantage, and it will be, they will get compensation presumably for making me participate in the show. And moreover, it reached to a point that I cannot speak at all about anything, because anything that, I mean, I can speak about, I mean, are only subjects that are illegal to speak about in Israel, and that will put me immediately in a mental asylum, which eventually happened after like so many tries of the social workers in Sham. Eventually they managed to actually put me in an asylum for like 2 weeks or 1 week. But they tried for so long. And this is also like a tenet of the Shabak, that the victims will go to the mental asylum by their own volition. So they will participate in their marking as like psychopaths. But I cannot speak about anything. Actually, when I lived in my mother's apartment in the last months of the arrest, and even before that, after I ran out of money, one of my problems, I mean, of course, the main problem was the torture and the electrocution, but one of my problems is that it came to such a, I mean, absurd situation that I cannot speak with my mother about anything, because anything that I want to speak about, I mean, is it reached to a point that everything that I just open my mouth, I mean, I can ask her for, please buy the Cola Zero in the supermarket, but anything other than the most trivial, like, please buy me this food or drink, anything at all was, I mean, something that is illegal to speak about. So she just ignored it, like I'm not speaking, like I'm not there, because she didn't do what to do. I mean, she cannot, like, when I speak about something that is illegal to speak about, I mean, the reaction, not only fair, but I mean, if anyone that is related to the intelligence community, they don't think about it at all. Apart from, I mean, sometimes, I mean, the operator think that they will able to, I mean, to squash, like to squeeze, like I mean, like, how to say, like admitted, like that you admit that you created, that you've done a crime. This is also something that is, I mean, is so relevant for the operators of the Shabak, also the Mossad, that their main goal is that the victim, I mean, it's like, just like, I mean, the medieval like, you know, holy like Inquisition. They need to, I mean, to get the confession from you. Mostly for things that you don't even know what I mean, what was the crime that presumably was committed. So, I mean, if they think that the conversation could be leaned towards getting a confession of you, so they will try to manipulate it with all the elegance of a drunken African elephant, which is also obese and violent. But other than that, they just, I mean, ignore you. So it came to, I mean, so my mother just ignored me, I mean, for almost anything that I asked. I wanted to speak about, but my art is illegal. like job is illegal. Everything. I mean, certainly anything that relates to foreigners illegal. The courses are illegal. I mean, history. My history. The history of Israel is illegal. Everything is illegal to speak about. So I couldn't speak with my mother at all. Just I mean, please buy me. I don't know, like vegan schnitzel or cola zero. That's it. So I mean, I cannot even speak about anything at all. This is, I mean, this is reality in Israel. This is the only democracy in the Middle East. A dictatorship without president, like without precedents, like without like previous example of such a horrible state. And there is no way out. Yes, I do science because I need to do something, but again, let's, I mean, say that, I mean, I create like diamond rings. It would be very nice to give it to my daughters because, I mean, I miss them so much and I promise that I will, you know, I mean, diamond rings are not like a replace or substitution for father, especially at such a young age. And it's a crime against them what's going on. But, you know, it's something, I mean, it's something that I want to give them. But other than that, I mean, everything, I mean, I will not be able to sell anything. This is just another show. There is no free market and nothing that I do is actually free. You understand that it's all, I mean, buffered by the Shabak. So, I don't want to participate in this, in theater show, and I will not participate in theater show. And yes, I have created this night, I mean, like about half a Nutella, like half of a big, I mean, that amount of the black goo. It's like half of this is filled. It's not 100% the goo, I mean, but it's like just a little bit of like neo juice, which is actually even better than the black goo. So, but it's mostly the black goo. And this, I mean, I don't know, I mean, how helpful could this be? But I have like, I think that, I mean, this amount could be very helpful to, I mean, improve the I mean, life and health of many people. Again, this is not, I mean, the optimal material. The optimal material are the neo juices, but you do not know them like firsthand, and you do know this material. But of course, it will be used. It already was used today, and will continue to be used as for my candles, because I have a really little bit beeswax. My mother bought me just a little bit. I hope she'll bring me more next time. But this is all the beeswax that I have, and I need the beeswax and the candles for my like science. So a way for me to actually, I mean, use less beeswax for much more burning is to use the either the neo juice or the black goo. Of course, it's, I mean, using like unimaginably valuable materials in order to replace things that, I mean, cost almost nothing. But it's not ironic. It's not irony. It's cruelty. Cruelty of the Israeli society. I need to be rescued using arms and legs, and I don't know how it's going to happen because I see that nobody in the world cares at all. I don't know why, but they don't. Funny, I named my last video Humans with irony. So one of the videos that, I mean, I've got in response is, this person never met a human yet. Like, you didn't met humans. These guys are not humans in Israel. But, you know, how is it that I didn't, like, let's go with the metaphor. I mean, of course, I mean, I've met humans, and because I've been in many places abroad, but let's continue with this like kind of metaphoric way of thinking. How is it that this person never met a human yet? How is it? He's a foreigner from another planet and star with great, I mean, like a message for humankind. So how is it that he's 40 years old and he never met a human? Okay, so unfortunately, he lives in a state where no humans exist. But humans outside of Israel supposedly know about him, right? Because the Israeli lied about him. So if they lied, it means that they know about him. Otherwise, they just would have kept silence. So if they lied, people know about him. So presumably no human, like in 40 years, never wanted to actually speak with this specimen and see, I mean, judge by their own, like, use their own, like, judgment to see what's its nature. They only, I mean, used the reviews of the Israeli Nazis. Why? How is it possible that no human, I mean, wanted to actually meet with a stranger? Because maybe they are also not humans. Maybe there are no humans on Earth. Only scumbags. I don't know how I can be rescued from here. I know that, I mean, any kind of theater show will not work. This should be done using force, using arms and legs. I do know one thing. I spoke about it many times in the past, in all sorts of occasions. It was a very strong divination that I had, and it repeated in many ways. It's like a narrative that I received, divinations or short prophecies about it, and it's something that I didn't know if it already happened in the past or it's something that's going to happen to me soon or something that belongs to the past, the long future. But it's the same many times. The strongest divinations and prophecies are always almost always regarding things that that all the answers are correct to this question. Are always almost always on sort of things that actually happened in one way or the other in the past, and also they're going to happen to me and they will happen in the future, because it's just Israelis and people in years are stuck in the repetition. They don't change. So one of the divination is, if you follow me for a while, you know it very well, is that there's people from abroad actually rescuing, they intend to rescue me and the Titan females, and they actually do it, but they only rescue Titan females and they don't rescue me, because instead of me they get a clone of me, of myself, and I am kept here in Israel, to the mercy of the Israelis that can do whatever they want to me, because now no one cares, because they already have presumably me, and this is the worst kind of Home Alone that can you imagine. And it's got also variation, how the other Titans react to this, because they have ways to know that it's not me. So what do they do? And are they free, or maybe they were not free at all, because they have chips or valves in their bodies, or mind controlling by the Israelis. So it's got also variation, and I understood that I shouldn't search for what time this divination is aimed to, because it's obviously one of those that divinations that that surrounds something that happened many times in one way or the other, not necessarily to me but to other people, because Israelis like the clones so much. They always use clones for and then it's so, and of course they will never want to set me free. They hate me and they want me to be their slave forever. Anyway, I'm sure that such thing actually happened both in the near, in the close past and far past. What I want to say, I don't want to to elaborate on the different types of narratives or sub-narratives that stem from this general outline of let's say meta narrative. I will say something that is very practical. Whoever that actually want or will want to rescue me using arms and legs, and I hope that the day will come that people will do it, they will want to do it and will do it, they must not speak at all with Israelis. At all. Certainly they shouldn't make any deals with the Israelis. My rescue of my daughter should be done using military force. Any kind of talk with the Israelis will for certain generate a scenario where you get a clone and not the real person. This is certain, because that's what they always do. And also it will certainly, or almost certainly, cost the life of innocent people, and it will not save you anything. So please, whatever you do, don't speak with the Israelis. Okay, I'll finish for now, and let's see how we continue. Set me free. This is a Nazi hell, and I don't want to, and I have no interest in participating in sick theater shows.